Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Live with Alan and Greg, the last show of the year. And we have our guest all the way from the United Kingdom, Gareth. Book
Hello.
and other magic.
Hey,
Say
Gareth.
hello if you're in the chat room.
Hello.
So, how's everyone doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Yeah, I'm psyched. I played music before to get me going. I was playing Lights Out by UFO, that old Lights Out in London.
Yeah. Good band.
Old song. But
Yeah.
good one.
Okay.
That was UFO was the first band that I heard do Mystery Train, and I started collecting versions of Mystery Train. You know that song?
Oh,
Train arrive. That one.
I have to Google. I'm sure I've heard of it.
Oh yeah. No,
Train?
Elvis Presley did it, and Junior Parker did the
on
first
train
version.
to Jordan?
No, it's
Don't
just
you
called
go-
Mystery Train. Paul
you
Butterfield
know-
did a famous version. It's a very good song anyway. But
Ah.
yeah, UFO did a good version.
I'll Google that afterwards if I don't Google it before.
Hey, we got some good comments coming up. We got Elaine Colboat.
Hi, Elaine.
We've got Elaine.
Yeah, right.
Colboat.
Yesterday, huh?
We've got MJ saying, I can't hang out long
MJ.
because I've got final edits happening, but want to show support for Gareth and the Monday Night Boys. And we got something you don't see too often, Michael Cavon.
Oh, hey,
Oh, look at that. Happy New Year, Mike.
MKV.
They must have let him off the job early.
Yeah. Yeah. Regular usually we're wearing ties, but we're wearing t-shirts tonight.
Yes, I'm wearing the psychedelic T-shirt.
I've got one of my Christmas shirts actually. That's cool. I like that.
It is got a cat.
Hey, I like that.
I feel like I've been taking some massive drugs.
Yeah.
Wearing this shirt.
What before you put the shirt on, or
once I
No,
put it
we're
on, I
wearing
feel
it.
like I've been.
It looks like a NASA shirt. I mean,
I'm
it's
taking my clothes off to show you what I've got on.
cool.
So this is one of my. I had loads and loads of shirts for Christmas, t-shirts, and this is a Warner Brothers Looney Tunes one. Hold on.
Oh man, that would be cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, Tasmanian
Well
Devil.
good.
I saw. I think.
Yeah, loads of all the characters in sketch form, like an orange background. It's very cool.
Does it have Foghorn Leghorn on it? You know, I'll give you some advice I learned from Foghorn. Don't bet on the races. But I mentioned t-shirts because Michael Cavon never wears a t-shirt. He's like, under the tie.
I don't think it does.
Well, you don't know what he's wearing below the waist as well.
Yeah, he's probably wearing it. Yeah, he's wearing a t-shirt below the waist.
Or whatever. Hey, James.
I'm going to do a series of 6 videos through the year on the 6 main Looney Tunes directors.
Oh.
Fritz Freleng, Robert McKimpson, Bob Clampett, Chuck Jones, Tex Avery, and that's it. I think that's 6. Yeah. So,
okay.
Cool.
The Chuck Jones were the ones that are really popular on the TV shows when I was growing up.
Yeah, Chuck Jones became like the most celebrated one. He did other things as well, which is partly why he was so celebrated. But I think he did particular things that he kind of like went really full on with the characterization of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and created a new kind of way of doing it. But
I like those Looney Tune ones, but
he was
the difference between Pluto and Goofy, or
Pluto and Goofy.
Yeah.
It's Mark.
It's Mark. I know. Mark is not a usual person, but Mark.
Hey,
Mark will recognize what's going to come up on my what I'm reading list. He might be the only one that recognizes it.
Oh, he might be able to have he might have a comment about what I'm reading, actually. Don't know. It's not science fiction, Mark, at the moment. Dun, dun, dun. I'm actually intrigued to know if you know one of the authors that I'm reading, actually.
All right. Well, we'll get to it. People complain when we get to the books too early in the show.
Yes, they do.
Because they're straggling
It's
in.
one of their complaints.
It's one of the anomalies about live streams.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to actually talk about the stuff that you'd watch the videos on.
Cobalt Book Time with Elva. I was thinking about doing the same thing. MJ says, I dig it. Season's greeting to everyone in the chat. Thank you, MJ.
I'm gonna open my crisps.
Go ahead.
With my new microphone's very
Yeah,
ASMR, isn't it?
There's sense around.
Williams Library, all the way from Indonesia.
Hello, William. Williams always supports the live streams, doesn't he?
He comes in a lot. Yeah.
That's what I thought, Mark, at 2 a.m. because it's 1 in by the sea where Gareth is.
2 a.m. for Mark.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
Elvis was restless.
Is there someone else like in the waiting
Well, he's
room?
not going to go. He's not going to go to school tomorrow, so that's one thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's holiday
Is it holiday for Czechoslovakia?
for teachers. Probably teachers everywhere.
I would have thought teachers don't go back until at least
Yeah.
after the new year.
You're right, because it's still technically the holidays for schools.
I would
Yeah.
have thought so. Otherwise, that'd be weird, really weird, because then they'd go back and then have to leave again straight away for the new year. I don't know, but that's what I imagine.
You see, I now that I've been retired, I just forget about holidays and what
Oh,
day
yeah.
it is, and
Every day's a holiday, right?
I have to tell myself, is this Sunday or is it Monday?
Jeez.
Monday, I have to put the trash out. If
Oh.
it's Sunday, I have to make a video so I can get a Monday video up. And
Oh yeah, and then the cleaning crew comes in on like I think one Tuesday afternoon. You know,
Monday morning.
Monday morning.
So,
for the cleaning
Greg,
crew.
are you saying, Greg, that you've got a booktube channel just to give yourself some structure in your life?
Well, honestly, that gives me a lot of structure nowadays because nothing else does.
Yeah, Chris said, no, never mind. Find another hobby. Damn it. Find another hobby besides books. Okay.
Yeah, like what?
Start a booktube channel. That counts as another hobby.
Tuesday night, Greg, go out and play pool.
Oh, yeah. He's got the pool table. At the
I
clubhouse.
stink at pool. I've tried it, and it's just like, like
Yeah. I am great at pool, Gareth.
I scratched the felt. Oh, sorry.
I know how to fix the felt if you do. I grew up on pool tables and like billiards and golf. Golf in the summertime and
That's cool.
billiards in winter because we had basements in Ohio where it snowed bad.
Do you still play pool?
No, I don't, because I don't have Mount Q anymore, and that's no excuse. But there's a billiard club in my neighborhood, big bar.
Yeah.
I've gambled there before, and I've eaten and drank there, but never played pool there. They have
I went to a pool club every Monday for about 6 months or so, and I wasn't brilliant, but I had occasional moments of brilliance.
Yeah.
And my son didn't know this, and I went to visit him in Brighton for Father's Day, and we went out on Brighton Pier, and there was a pool table there, and I said, "Should we play some pool?" And he went, "Yeah, all right." And he assumed I never played before, and I was beating him. He was going, "What? What are you doing? I didn't know you could play pool." I said, "Well, I'm all right."
You should have set him up. You should have set him up and hustled him and let
I should
him
have
win.
bet on him.
You let him win a few.
No, well, isn't that the old trick? You let him win the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Let's put a little more money on this.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't realize I'd still be okay. I thought, so long since I played, I thought it was going to be horrendous, but it was all right. And it was quite funny. He was going, "What, have you played before?"
Well, Greg, I invited somebody. Is anyone in the waiting room at all? Or
No one's in the waiting room. I've
Damn.
gotten a couple of messages back from some of them. At least one of them is busy tonight.
Oh,
Not
okay.
going to be around.
Right, Pat. We're gonna bring some surprises on for you.
Trying to get a big gathering for the end of the year, was it?
Oh no,
Yeah.
just for you, because I invited Pat because like she had that funny ass show with you and Dave that one time. She still talks about it to me and everyone.
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh,
It was really funny. Yeah. If she comes back on, I don't think it'll be the same kind of show. I think it was a bit of a
you know, you
one-off.
can have Greg and me on separately too. We've only been on like once, and it was together.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I shouldn't see you as a package deal.
Like Martin and Lewis or something. Boy, that's an old reference. You know, Martin and Lewis.
Be more like Abbott Costello, probably.
Yeah, that's more like it, huh? Which is which? We don't know. But
Yep,
or,
way in
or,
for Mark.
I'm thinking Waiting for Godot. It could be Lucky and Pazzo. I would love to play Pazzo. I am Pazzo.
Mark recognizes my Flashman.
I don't. Is that like a dirty comic graphic
Yeah,
novel?
6th January.
I'll talk about it once we
heard you-
talk about our books. I'll bring it up.
I feel like an idiot now because now I know who you mean. That's the guy from like Sherlock Holmes, right? Or no?
Kind
I
of.
feel like an idiot twice.
I will introduce Flashman to everyone when my turn comes in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Elvis is fast asleep. He's off till January 6th.
Yeah, I'm back on the 7th.
Live stream
Thanks,
hangouts
William.
is fun.
Thanks, mate.
And yeah, Brian says, yeah, every day is a holiday when you retire.
Brian.
Especially if you're Brian Globetrotting. Are you still in like Italy, Brian? Or man?
So Mark, I've got ready salted, so just plain ones, but I really like plain crisps. So these are just ready salted.
Ah, nice.
So it's like standard plain biscuits. They're crisps, not biscuits. They are not biscuits.
Not sea salted, but just plain salt.
Just plain salted, yeah. And they, because of Christmas, they've packaged it differently, but ultimately it's the same as normal. You guys have Lay's. Lay's is the same company.
Your Lay's is very popular.
Right. Yeah, it's the same company. This is the most popular company in Britain.
See, I like a thicker chip, Gareth. I like a kettle crisp.
Oh yeah, I like them as well. Yeah. I really like
kettle. Any kind of flavor you want, from jalapeno to jalapeno to like pizza flavored, all kinds of weird.
Yeah. Ones. But again, my favorite kettle chips are plain ones that just salted.
Just sea salt and pepper. I don't
know what it is. Maybe I just like to intensify the taste of the grease. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Maybe
that's what it tastes
I like the spicy chips that you can feel burn in your mouth a little bit.
Yeah. You got a good threshold for spicy food, though. In my dottage, I went to like a medium.
There's a Doritos company over here. It's probably over there as well. The chili Doritos you can get well hot, really, really hot, and I like them, but you can't eat too many of them.
No,
you can't feel your mouth anymore.
You get the flaming lips.
The people saying, hello. Brian, no, we got back from Italy before Christmas.
Oh wow.
Some great videos, man. I long to see Florence.
Has Brian done a video on it yet?
Yeah, he did some shorts and that.
Oh.
But not a big compilation yet. I'm sure he's probably putting it together.
Well, he is now.
Yeah, he's been on a lot of trips this year. They went to Germany for Oktoberfest and Munich.
Yeah, that was brilliant. His videos have been great on that.
Then he went to Scotland and saw all the old Bruces in the clan. I think he had to do like a blood oath to get in or something over there.
He did. Yeah, he didn't want to come to England in case he bumped into me.
So yeah, William says Flashman is kind of the comedic anti-hero version of Trump, a little bit like that.
Well, when I bump into you, Gareth, we'll have to go to the pub and play, shoot some billiards. Or
Brannigan's, yeah, that'd be good. Al Brannigan's crisps are very quite intense. They're like very dark taste, I reckon, but they're very nice. I think are they Welsh? No, they're similar to the taste of some Welsh crisps as well. Brannigan's.
Here are my chips.
Yeah, go on and keep that ASMR going.
Jumbo nacho.
Oh, Nicole is here from Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hey, Nicole.
Hello. I'm working out and listening, so I'm going to be silent. That's okay.
Okay, Nicole.
Disgraceful that Brian missed the Czech Republic.
Yeah. Again, he's probably trying to avoid you, Mark.
Oh, Brian.
Been to England twice and didn't tell me. Look at that.
I'm still trying to think if I can figure out how to get to England this year. The problem is like my wife's put me on the charge of planning, and I don't plan vacations.
We're the one right next to France.
Well, you got that little bit of a sea between you as well. But
yeah, it's a big swim.
Talk about the Irish Sea.
Constance is here.
Hey, Constance.
I should live stream from the grocery store. And Brian Mark, I have the Czech Republic on my bucket list, but it isn't on my wife's.
Oh.
Well, Greg is going to Panama.
I am. Well, I'm on a cruise in February.
For like 2 weeks, huh?
9 days.
9 days.
And we have the Mild Rumpus. Happy New Year.
From New York City.
All right, we've been on for 16 minutes. I think we can say that the stragglers have come in, and we can discuss some books for a little bit and then go on to some other subjects.
Okay.
So Gareth?
She does a great job though, Brian. And you mentioned that in your longer videos too, how she plans it. But and between you and going on all your cruises, Greg and Brian and everybody, boy, I live vicariously through you. So take it away, Gareth. What have you been reading lately?
So I've got 3 books on the go, really mainly. This is the big one because I've been buddy reading this with Kim from Middle of the Book March.
Oh yeah, great.
Invisible Man.
Oh man, that's a killer. Yeah,
that's a good one.
It is really good. It's quite big. So I'm just over halfway through. It's 550 pages, so it's really good. There was one chapter I didn't like, but it is really, really good and really intense and beautifully written, except for that one chapter. And then I started reading a collection of short stories by Mark Twain.
Okay.
Yeah, there's your copy. Nice one.
Yeah, I buddy read this with Hannah. Turned me on to this.
Oh, cool.
But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, that's all right. This has got 4 stories in it, and this was lent to me by a mate because he wanted me to read the £1 million banknote, which is a really famous story, isn't it? But I'm going to read all of them, so I'm going to read The Mysterious Stranger as well. I want to try and read that. Well, if I can read that tomorrow, it'd be nice, but I don't know. There's lots going on tomorrow. And the other thing, which I was intrigued to know if anyone in the chat knows this author, but I've started reading this, The Imposter and Other Stories by Silvina Ocampo.
Don't know it.
I don't either.
Argentinian writer. And I read one story. I bought this just out of interest in London on one of the London meetups. And I was just curious because it had such a claim. And I thought, well, that's interesting. What is this? And I bought it on a whim. And I read The House Made of Sugar. And it was fantastic. It was a fantastic story. It was only 9 pages long. And it was like huge. Do you know what I mean? Like the scope of what was in there was in those 9 pages was amazing. And it was really interesting.
What's
and
your last name, please?
Ocampo. Silvina Ocampo. I've looked her up on BookTube, and not many people talk about her, but she is really revered in Argentina. So I think I was probably influenced by the kind of Dali-esque cover as well. Kind of reminds me of the Louis Buñuel Dali stuff. But yeah, I really and this story called The Imposter is apparently really famous. So I've started to read that, but it's a little longer, so I haven't finished that story yet. But yeah, that's really interesting. And that one, The House Made of Sugar, is really, really interesting. It was kind of eerie and wasn't really sure where it was going. And when it got to the end, I was like, wow, that was quite special. And it's a sort of story you don't get very often. So yeah, so it's like this couple move into a new village, into a new house, and there's something not quite right about it, and the husband doesn't feel comfortable, and he's not sure why. And when you find, and then as it transpires, it's just really odd and really creepy and odd and weird, and yeah, really cool, really interesting. House made of sugar.
I'll look her up.
Yeah. So yeah, but The Invisible Man is the main thing I'm reading, which is
that's a really good. I mean, it's a good book, and the parts of that book are incredibly funny.
Yeah,
and funny in a bizarre. When I first read the book, I was at university, and it's standard. You read it like you're 80s, and about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years, I listened to the audiobook version, and there is a scene very early on in the book where a father is explaining how something happened. I don't want to give any spoilers, right?
Yeah.
And it's horrifying and incredibly funny at the same time, especially with the narrator getting into the role of the father trying to explain. Should we explain what he did, or just let people find out for themselves? I think
if it's what I think you're talking about, it's best to be surprised by it, because it's quite a horrendous thing he's describing.
It's horrendous, and that's why.
Yeah.
Why is this funny and horrendous at the same time?
Well, to be fair, me and Kim are messaging each other, and neither of us have said that bit was funny.
well, the thing is,
but we said it was quite
that may
awful.
Be the traditional interpretation, but the narrator, he's an African American narrator, so he's getting into he got the dialect down, and you can just hear him grinning and smiling.
Yeah,
it was very disconcerting, because it's not a funny story, really.
Well, he's just. Don't think I'll spoil anything by saying he's justifying something absolutely horrendous he's done by saying he was in a dream, and he got into this dream state and didn't know what he was doing. So I can see that you might find that funny, but yeah, we just thought it was really like I don't know, really intense and kind of heartbreaking. But clearly, we're taking it too seriously, Greg.
Yes, seriously.
Yeah, we need to light up and see the humor in this book.
All right. Anything else you want to highlight?
There's some stuff I'm about to. I don't know when is it. It's in 2 videos time. Is a video I've done of my Christmas presents, and in that there's some Batman graphic novels that I'll be reading soon. This is quite cool. But also there's a China Mayville book that I've got. The Perdido Street. Is it called Perdido Street
Station? Yeah, that's a good one.
Perdido Street Station. Yeah, and this really bizarre. The way I got it from my son-in-law. And I can't remember. I won't be able to remember exactly what he did, but he said to my daughter, "I want to get your dad something from me, and I'm gonna go through this process to pick the book." And he basically put everything he could possibly think of to describe me in an AI server thing, and then that created a huge binary code, and he turned that binary code into a decimal code or something, and then he put that into a search with the word book on it, and then he bought the book that came out of it. It's the weirdest way to choose a book.
Well, Gareth, it's a fascinating book. I've read a couple other books by China Mieville as well. I've read The City in the City, which is a science fiction novel that's. You have to experience it. And then there's one, it's his only pure science fiction, or one of his pure science fiction novels. About an alien race that has 2 mouths that talks in 2 voices at the same time.
Nice.
It's strange. And then there's like the Kraken. So I got it. He doesn't publish that much anymore. I have not seen him publish anything. No, he did. No, he did publish a book recently with some actor, and I'm going like, why are you wasting your writing talents with an actor?
Oh, didn't he do the collaboration with Keanu Reeves?
It could be.
I think he did. It was, what a strange thing to do. But hey, I'm really up for thinking the best of these people. Like there was someone was who was it? Someone was talking about the fact they was reading the Share book, and they spent most of the time talking about the ghostwriter, but they didn't know for sure it was ghostwritten. And I just feel like sometimes we make an assumption that people can't write because they're celebrities. And
I wouldn't mind reading her book, her memoir.
Yeah, I'd like to read it, but I'd like to know for sure that it's ghostwritten before I start saying it's ghostwritten. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because there are a lot of books are ghostwritten, but
I don't
some
think
people can write as well.
Because Flossie at Grape Jelly Library read and reviewed it, and I've seen share on talk shows. It's like supposed to be just volume 1 of 2.
Yeah, it's her early career, I think. Yeah.
But I don't know for sure if she did or not either.
Yeah, there was nothing to say in the book, and obviously they don't always say it. But I just feel like you should say it's ghostwritten once you know it's ghostwritten.
Yeah, I think I have that on Libby Hold, her book. I always have about 20 things on hold with Libby.
Yeah,
new books take months to come in, and
I bought a bunch of library books out for the Historathon. Yeah, that starts now. Starts tomorrow.
No, it doesn't start tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 31st.
Starts the day after tomorrow.
Oh, wait a second. It could be the 31st for you.
Oh yeah, it is tomorrow for me. Yeah,
tomorrow for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking from the future. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. You're gonna have a good day tomorrow.
Yep. So, what about you, Alan? Anything you've been reading?
Nothing new except for what did I read that new Alex Van Halen book, Brothers, or I listened to it rather. That was good.
That's pissed people off, hasn't it?
Well, Valerie liked it. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of. He's on YouTube doing interviews, but I haven't watched them. Who didn't make mad?
Well, I keep seeing people reacting to the fact that he's been slagging off Sammy Hagar and things like that, and even I think he's been slagging off Michael Anthony, which
he doesn't even mention Sammy too much at all. Or even
does he not?
No.
Oh, okay, maybe it's
which I wouldn't have minded. I mean, he puts down David Lee Roth quite a bit, but everybody else does too. David was just a real jerk. I watched an old Grammy Award show with David came back. Just him. They did Panama. Speaking of Panama, and got David Lee Roth had short hair and in a pinstripe suit and just acting like I don't know. He wanted to be a movie actor.
You know, I've seen that footage and it's just embarrassing, isn't it? He didn't really see himself as part of the band. He was just
the one on Jimmy Kimmel where he broke his nose. That was a good performance. That's on YouTube.
Did they do Jump on Jimmy Kimmel?
I think
yeah.
But it's a shame that he's dead.
Yeah, it is a massive shame.
So I listened to that, and then we're plugging away at Against the Day. We're about on the same pages too. I had to ask Greg to sync up my Audible with
548.
I already did. I found it. I'm at 552 now.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah, you're only 4 pages apart.
Yeah.
Are we halfway through? Yeah. It's 1,084 pages. So
yeah,
I crossed the halfway mark.
So, are they really short chapters, or have one of you stopped in the middle of a chapter?
No, there's breaks, column breaks.
All right, yeah.
But this is my third read. Look, I've added up my books all torn apart and stuff.
And I still have not discovered the plot after 500 pages.
No, it's coming.
No plot.
It's coming. It gets good pretty soon,
He
Greg.
has a big buildup.
Oh my god.
That's because there's like eight or 10 plots going on. Well, no, not that many, quite honestly. There's like the Western, the
Okay,
Chums and
Alan.
Chance.
Here's what I think. I think Thomas Pynchon, he was very fond of marijuana and drugs.
And hashish.
And hashish. I think he got stoned out of his gourd for a couple of years and wrote out a whole lot of weird stuff. Some of it's brilliant, some of it's well done, but it's just weird. And then he just kind of like, okay, let's put it all in this mixing bowl. I've got a 1,000-page novel.
But
So is it-
how about
so
all
have you
the
read-
scientific stuff about light and electricity and dynamite? And he talks about time
Parts of it
machines,
are utterly
time travel.
fascinating. It's just not.
There's no like,
cohesive.
yeah. We just got through a boring part 2, huh, Greg? That part I thought was pretty boring with Yasmin. Yasmin comes back again, but that was the part that, well, I won't get into that. But we've had some people that are still with us doing it. Debs and
Yeah, a few. I'd
Scott?
say about 60 to 70% have dropped out.
yeah. I was going to mention like
we never had a huge following for this anyway, but you know.
I really enjoy it though, especially when they get back to the Chums and Chance stuff. I like.
So is it 500 pages of rambling then?
Yeah.
They're not rambling. There's a lot of different stories.
Are completely fascinating. He talks about Nikola Tesla and his.
Yeah, Tesla's in
And
it.
I think it's sort of based on what Tesla was trying to do. He's trying to create a whole new electrical system where he flows the electricity through the ground, and everyone would get free electricity.
And
And the
perpetual motion.
investors think, wait a
and
second.
stuff.
Maybe giving people free electricity is not in our best interest.
Right. We
We
just
wanna
got through a
charge
bunch of
people for
science. Too.
electricity.
We got through a bunch of science too, like this IJK stuff that was, it's on a different level. Some engineer or physicist would understand it if it's real. But they're talking about time travel and time machines and
Traveling under the sand in a sand ship.
This blimp as big as like a aircraft carrier. The Chums of Chance. It's called the Inconvenience, and we're finding out they're not the only ones. There's like hundreds of these things, and it's getting kind of paranoid too. I forget the guy.
But if you're taking a lot of marijuana, you do get paranoid, so it kind of makes sense.
Indeed. So, and then I'm reading my old friend Raw. You ever read any Robert Anton Wilson?
Oh yeah.
I've given this book away several times. One of my favorites, but I got a brand new one, not marked up. Getting psyched for Finnegan's Wake. This is a really great Finnegan's Wake supplement, and so Roy reads anything, and I are going to do it like next April. We don't even start till April, but I'm still, that Ulysses 6 is going to be involved. Well, some of us suffer, but
I think I'm going to pass on Finnegan's.
Yeah.
I got other.
Swan's Way. I can't handle that. I have the Audible for Swan's Way, but not the entire In Search of
I
Love.
got to tell you, Alan, I've listened to Proust on Audible or a audio. I don't think Proust
You have to read
does
it
well in the audio version.
Yeah, I see. I thought that I would say that I get about against the day too, like because it's so just to listen to it. I could do that, but what was I going to say? Yeah, I'll get the book of Swan's Way too, but damn it, I forgot what I was going to say now. Something about In Search of Lost Time is the complete set, right?
I'm going to go for the whole 6 or 7 books.
I know a lot of people are signing up on your Discord. There goes somebody right now. It's all for like Swan's Way. Well,
here's what I predict. There's a lot of folk that signed up. A lot of them say, I'm committed to the first book.
Right.
And then we're going to see. And I think there's going to be a big drop off after the first book. That's just my prediction.
Yeah, it's a big commitment.
It
Just
is
like,
I mean, it's 4,000 pages.
yeah, man.
Huge.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
I'm waiting for that Judi Dench Shakespeare where she talks about her her days on the stage. I'm waiting for Beauty Land. I'm going to read the text, but I've got it on Audible. I already paid for that, but Angelia and I are going to buddy read that. Anybody read The Demon of Unrest, the Eric Larson new one?
Not yet.
About the Civil War or something about a ship? Yeah. But, yeah, I've got a lot of Audible stuff. But, here's Wallace Stephen, Aaron Facer, and I'm behind in this. You ever read Wallace Stevens, Gareth?
No, I don't know Wallace Stevens at all.
Me neither. And I remember I'm trying to read in grad school. It was like but I don't remember any of it. I didn't let my college interfere with my education.
Yeah, you went to you did was you an English lit major? Did you say before?
Yeah, I did. Well, I was a theater major at Kent State. I have a BA in theater.
Right, that's it.
And I went to grad school for MFA. It's easier than an MA in creative writing.
Right,
that was pretty easy. But I was on track to be a PhD, and I got kicked out. I got booted out. My GPA fell below 3.3, and I was so hungover I couldn't even crawl out of bed and go withdraw from all my classes.
okay.
So I flunked out the dean because I was like educating Rita. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was dating my students. I was teaching drunk. I was up in the dean's office a lot. I can't believe is this thing on? I can't believe I'm telling this, but yeah, they finally got up there and there's nothing I could do. They said, "Nope, you're out of here." They finally got me. I was like,
Right.
yeah, I rarely tell that story. So that's what I'm reading.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Flashman. This is a series of historical novels about Harry Flashman. He was a minor character in Tom Brown's School Days. He was a bully. And I have not read the, but he's like in there one chapter, he gets kicked out of school and he goes to fight. This is 1838, early 1840s.
Oh.
And he goes off into the army to fight wars. He finds out that he is really good at learning foreign languages and that he's a total coward.
Oh,
so whenever there's a battle, he runs away quite vigorously. And everyone says, "Oh, wow, he's a great fighter. Look how strong he is." And he says, "I just want to get out of here."
Now, do I remember you mentioning and talking about this during
Hold on, Alan.
Okay.
So he's also a great womanizer and a cheat.
Oh.
And let me read you the first chapter. Not the first chapter.
The first chapter.
The first sentence of this book, and it's his most famous sentence in all the series. But it'll give you sort of an idea.
Okay.
If I had been the hero everyone thought I was, or even a half-decent soldier, Lee would have won the Battle of Gettysburg and probably captured Washington.
So he's a rebel. He's a rebel.
Well, that's the whole idea, is that he's actually not such a great soldier that he caused Lee to lose the Battle of Gettysburg.
Oh, I would like to read that.
He never explains it in the entire series. He never explains that situation. Although he does go, there are other books in this story where he does go to the United States. And this is the one that's sort of like ripping off The Prisoner of Zenda, where supposedly this is the true story that The Prisoner of Zenda by Anthony Hope was based on.
I don't know that story.
It's a classic
That's probably why I don't know.
adventure story
Oh,
where a British man has a very strong resemblance to a prince of this small country, and he has to impersonate that prince and become king of this country for a while. And
damn!
in
Now
this
it's
one,
like that.
It was in Mark K. Vaughan's book
Yes.
club last year.
what maybe
Oh.
it might have been 2 years ago,
Uh,
but no, it's incredibly funny because he's always hopping in the beds with all these different ladies and complaining about his wife hopping in bed with all these other men. He says, well, she's hopping in bed with this man. I gotta go hop into bed with my ladies. And
You spell this Flash, right? Flashman, not
Flashman.
flesh.
Flashman. So you can pick out the first book, just called Flashman. And the funny thing is, he's actually been told very historically accurate. He gets his history right.
Regarding the Civil War and that.
Now, this takes place over many years in the 19th century. This book is 1841, and he goes up past the Civil War. Well, now in this book, he's like in his 20s, and when he's writing, he's supposedly in his 80s. So it's like a large part of the 19th century, and he essentially is almost in every important, or not every important, but many important battles and areas.
Kind of reminds me of Little Big Man.
Yes, a little bit like that.
A little bit, wee bit. Now, I never read Little Big Man like you did. I've only seen.
I know Little Big Man was 1964. This is 1970, I believe. Yeah, let me take a quick look. Yeah, this was 1970. So the first book in the series would have been 68 or 69. So definitely after Little Big Man. And I've read most of the series before. They're just absolutely hilarious. I've been trying to get people to do like group reads, but he's such a horrible man.
Oh,
he's very bigoted, and that a lot of people just are totally put off by his character. The thing is, he's supposed to be a bad, notorious man, and everyone thinks he's a great hero. That's the whole joke of this series.
Yeah. Well, yeah, some people find it hard to read something if they don't relate to the character, isn't it?
Yes, especially. I mean, there's one book in the series where I think he's in Russia, and he's on what are those troikas or something? On the sleigh being pulled by horses over the snow. I remember, and these wolves are chasing them, and Flashman throws a woman over the edge, so the wolves stop and eat the woman so he can get away.
Oh man, a man after my own heart. Yeah, they have a lot of Flashman books at thrift books.
Yeah,
the first one is just called Flashman.
It's called Flashman.
Flashman. Yeah, you can get it. Whoa, one copy is like 60.
There's a lot of Flashman books, isn't there?
There's 12 or 13.
Oh, I thought it was more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is number one for $6.69. I'll buy it.
Go check out Powell's. Powell's probably has it.
God, my book cart's up to $40. Yeah,
let's.
I got to go buy that Cats book for the Brothers Karamazov at Powell's too, if they still have it. They only had one left.
Let me go through some of our comments. We have not done comments for a while.
Right. Do something about Finnegan's Wake. Go ahead.
Here's Brian. I go, Mark, I have the Czech Republic on my bucket list, but not my wife's.
Yeah, he's blaming it on.
I've been there 3 times. Oh, we did that one because it's a mild rumpus.
Yeah, he's doing Van Halen.
He's doing Panama. Mark saying, I'm going to Panama to scout for Trump. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. I mean, I know we're not supposed to do too much politics, but how stupid can he be?
Well,
Trump.
apparently you guys are going to occupy Canada soon.
Oh, we're gonna take over.
Right.
We're gonna take over Greenland.
But we're gonna that's after we make Canada the 51st state.
I don't think he wants because it'd be all Democratic senators. And he wouldn't want that.
Oh God!
Maybe it'd be a
Call the grab
I
act.
thought he was going to be unpredictable, but I didn't expect that.
He's not even in yet.
Yeah, he's not even in yet. That's
Not
right.
even
He hasn't
yet.
even taken his shoes off yet.
It's already a deception.
You wait till he's got his slippers on.
Man alive.
Oh, I missed saying hello to Fred. Hello, Fred.
Hi, Fred.
You're still here, Fred.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to be confused with The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I've read that 3 times. That's a much shorter book. Well, I really like it. Some people don't like it. Some people
on it. This is just Invisible Man.
You're right.
Yeah. Some people say it's dated, but I really like the H.G. Wells book.
Time Machine.
There's one thing I remember. I was listening to a science podcast, and they mentioned there's a scientific flaw with H.G. Wells's book.
No. Is it no?
What? There's one scientific flaw.
No, there's more than one, but
There's probably quite a few.
But the problem is
You're working on it.
how do you see things?
Differently.
With your eyes?
Light reflecting off your
Yeah.
cornea. So if light goes through you and you cannot reflect off the eye, you're blind.
Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to look at the science of it.
I don't think so, but it's fun sometimes.
But well done to those people for pointing out the lack of scientific accuracy in The Invisible Man.
Acampo was published by the editor of Argentine magazine that published Borges. She was also the partner of Adolfo Cesares.
Okay.
Whose invention of moral is a masterpiece.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a book.
He's working on, I guess Brian's working on getting to Czechoslovakia. The Invisible Man is on my 2025 reading list. I started reading Lord of the Flies, Goulding's one. That was an interesting book.
Yeah, I avoided it because I think I'd find it really depressing. I hate the whole bullying thing. I don't like reading any kind of bullying. And obviously the whole book is about how they all turn on each other.
Well, you probably see a lot of bullying as a teacher. Or are you beyond that stage? No,
I'm always putting out fires. My role is, if there's a huge part of my role that's like a counselor trying to sort stuff out. I hate all that. So the whole Lord of the Flies thing, you can kind of see it going on sometimes in some of the cliquey groups that are in the classes and stuff. And it's just a bit depressing.
Yeah, and Mark deals with that too.
Yeah, Mark probably sees it as well. Yeah.
See, I only taught, like a teacher's assistant, aide, but then I taught some community college.
Yeah.
And that was easy. I mean, anybody who can follow a syllabus can do it. I thought just required electives, football players, people didn't want to be there. I was a cool teacher. I never flunked anybody, but didn't have time to. So, has anyone heard of this book? I'm going to do one more video for the end of the year. There's a couple books for Christmas. I don't think I'm going to mention people, except for I might hear Greg sent me the collected fiction of Borges. We've been on the look for a good used copy, and Greg said, "F it, I'll just buy it." He sent me one, so I'm trying to catch up with him on that. And then Pat sent me this. It's like coffee table book, but it was on apparently Obama's favorite books of the 2024. It's a coffee table book, but it's all about creativity. I mean, you would love it, Gareth.
Yeah.
I don't recognize everyone listed here, but Louise Gluck, the poet.
I heard of her.
Yeah, she wrote Mock Orange. And there's Michael Cunningham, The Hours, Tony Kushner, poets. but there's like musicians and artists on here too.
Okay, you'll have to give a good review of that.
Yeah, do a video on it.
Yeah, it's a. I don't want to mess it up and get it dirty or anything. It's like one of those. Like I have that my Ulysses, $50 one by Catherine Flynn is a coffee table book too. Probably 3 times as big, and I didn't, market it, of course, but even just going through it, you know how it is. It gets smudgy because when we went through it this year, Ulysses, what we spent 3 months,
2 months,
2, yeah, just going through it all again will, lessen its mint condition is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's a really cool book, huh? The Work of Art: How Something Comes from Nothing. Adam Moss.
we got
Cat
Cat Gender Bibliophile here.
Okay.
Hey, Cat.
I'm a little late saying hello. It's just how late am I? Oh, maybe 30 minutes. So got to catch up with our random funny story. I once mistook the movie title on my movie ticket for my assigned seating, K-19. That was a mountain climbing movie.
Yeah, K-19 is a film, isn't it?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, she said, what is it about? It's about mountain climbing.
Oh.
Oh, no, wait a second. I'm wrong. It sounds like an older dog movie. It's a Soviet.
That's not K-19. It's K2, isn't it?
Yeah, K-19 is a military film, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah.
K2
Soviet.
is a mountain.
K2 is a mountain.
This is a Soviet
Yeah, I only made it halfway up K2.
Submarine.
No, I did some mountain hiking, like Camelback Mountain in Arizona was cool. I've been down in the Grand Canyon, walked down there, but that's just switchbacks. I used to do some mountain hiking in Arizona.
Libro, I've teased Pat from Book Chat with Chat that Finnegan's Wake will be her demise.
No, I think she'll like it. She's Irish and was brought up Catholic, so she's got an into it. I think she'll be surprised.
I don't know. I just from my reading of Ulysses earlier the year, it sounds like the worst chapter of Ulysses.
But it's not. It's funny, Greg. It's there's so much scholarship on it. To say it's unreadable is really an insult. But there's been scholarship on it since it came out. The first
a lot of people say it's unreadable, Alan. Not just a few people. A lot of people say it's unreadable.
Well, it's not. I mean, I really don't know anyone who says that.
Okay.
There's so much scholarship. I mean, starting with the Skeleton's Key and Joseph Campbell. But let's read the comments.
I like Stevens. He was a student of George Santayana at Harvard, just one of his many famous students.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it. I mean, that's what an MFA in creative writing will get you. Ignorance about famous poets.
Hi, everyone. I'm finally here. I have read a couple Flashman. Good for you, Lee.
Hey, Lee. Wow, okay.
Flashman is a riot. Great fun.
I know Mark's sense of humor a little bit. I think I would like
Mark and I have talked about Flashman. He's one of the few people who might read Flashman with me.
I'll join you on that.
Just finished my sprints now. Headed to bed and make the season bright. Night all. Happy year. That's Thanks. Family and Books. Hi there. I'm not sure I recognize that channel.
No, we'll have to look that up.
Oh, Greg, that'd be really embarrassing if he's here every single week and you just said that.
Yeah,
it would be embarrassing, but I don't think that person's made a comment under that name.
No,
I've got a bad memory, but not that bad.
I'm sure they haven't because I make a note of it and then I send the note to Greg and he puts it on his spreadsheet and saves it.
No.
Well, he's got every book you've read since 1990. What?
December 1990. I have every book I've ever read.
From 90. Wow, man, that's crazy time.
Okay.
People call
All
me
right.
crazy.
Gareth, we got a surprise coming.
Oh, here we go.
You ready?
Okay. Hey!
Just when you thought you couldn't get rid of him.
I heard,
He's back.
Gareth, I heard that you were trying to do a live stream without me. I was like, what?
The cheek
Hell
of it.
no.
Yeah. Well, if you can go on Elaine's channel, then,
No, we tried to get MJ here. We tried to get Pat.
Isn't that nice? And no, Dave really misses me. It's just 24 hours. He can't stand being 24 hours without me.
Yeah. That was a fun chat. That was yesterday you guys did. I was there for a few hours, but
It was a 2-hour quiz. It was good fun.
Hard questions, Gareth. Some of them like music, films, music.
Well, apparently Dave doesn't know anything about films.
Yeah.
Well, first I thought that was supposed to be he told me Christmas quiz, right?
Yeah, it's at Christmas. They're not Christmas films. It was at Christmas.
The lady in red right here.
It looks like it's a tree.
So the lady in red there.
That's cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I tried to pitch it really easy, and Gav thought it was easy. So clearly, it was easy for some.
What film is the lady in red from?
The woman in red was the film.
Oh.
I don't think the lady in red was in
the music.
I don't think the song was in the film. I think it's just a separate thing.
That was one of your clues because I couldn't guess.
No, one of the clues was I just called to say I love you was by Stevie Wonder. That was in the film The Woman in Red.
Right.
Yeah. It's difficult. You got to pay attention.
Yeah,
that one was difficult, but a lot of the rest of that round were really easy. Like Don't You Forget About Me and Take My Breath Away.
Yeah.
They got Top Gun, all that.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It's a good idea for a live.
Yeah. I thought it was if you did books, then people would be like, "Oh, got to get it right. I'm a booktuber," but it could be a bit more chilled.
He messaged us beforehand, and he told us, "Oh, I'm worried they're going to be too easy, but I just they're no fun if people can't get the answers to the." And then he gave that first question, and all four of us are sitting there listening to all three of his clues. We're all like.
I can't believe that you guys never heard of The Great Escape. It's such a famous film over here, and it's an American film. So I don't know.
Steve McQueen.
Yeah, Steve McQueen, but no one had heard of it.
I saw The Great Escape in '83, maybe
83.
84, 80. I mean, it was an old movie even in the '80s, but
Have you got a spreadsheet of when you've seen films as well, Greg?
I did do it for like 2 years, and then I just stopped watching films, and I never did it. So
no, it gets shown at Christmas every year on RTV, Great Escape. So everyone in Britain's seen it at least once. But yeah, this is just one of those things. I thought that was more famous than it was, but I think the rest of that round, everyone got. I mean, most people got the questions right, Dave. Most of the questions were answered correctly.
Yeah.
By somebody.
Once originally, I thought it was supposed to be I thought it was Christmas stuff, and then he sends a link saying, the Christmas, the Christmas. I forget what you call it, but our Christmas movie quiz or something like that. The way it was phrased, and I'm like,
yeah,
all right, well, I guess it's going to be all Christmas movies then. And then we get on down, and it has nothing to do with Christmas. It's all just movies.
No.
And I'm horrible at that stuff. Like you ask me questions like, which director this and which actor that. I don't know any names, especially
I think I could write 4 rounds of questions on Christmas films. I think I'd run out of Christmas films by the end of it.
There's a lot of Christmas films.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a million that go on the Hallmark Channel, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a lot there. But there's a lot of other ones too.
There's a random ones called The Dog That Saved Christmas. Hey, what's that, Al?
I'm pretty good with like Hitchcock and Kubrick, and
there was lots of Kubrick and Hitchcock in there.
Oh,
yeah.
For music, I'm really good with music trivia.
I might do one like that. I don't know.
Trivia
difficult to
Pursuit.
pitch it.
When I played it with my family back in like the 80s, Trivia Pursuit, I still love that game. Like
Yeah, I really
Brown
like
was-
Trivial Pursuit.
Brown was
Yeah.
arts and like
Arts and
green was
literature.
history. I think yellow was entertainment. I
Yeah.
used to really that game.
Yeah, it's good fun. I bought a. I don't think I've got it around here. Yes, over there. But I bought a board game. Just before. No, when was it? The day after Boxing Day. Yeah, the day after Boxing Day. I had some money that I
After
spent.
Boxing Day is my birthday.
Oh,
Go
happy
ahead,
birthday!
Thank you.
But yeah, I bought the board game of the Addams Family.
Oh man,
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
really
the
cool.
board game, The Addams Family.
Yes, it uses the original illustrations as well on the board, so it's not like
wow.
film based. It's based on the original cartoons. So that's pretty cool.
Wow, that's I know how much you love the artist Charles Adams.
Yeah. I was really impressed when it came out. So I haven't opened it yet, but I'm going to open it. I'm going to maybe do a little video on it. I don't know.
Is it like a reissue of reissue of like the original? Vintage?
It's just come out. The game's just come out.
Oh, it just came out. I see. Okay.
Yeah. So see what it's like. It looks like quite a small game. It might be one that you can't play that often, and then obviously some games they become too repetitive, don't they? So it might be a bit like that.
Huh.
But do you guys play board games?
No.
I used to. I agree. I had like the American Dream family. I younger kid brother and sister, so we played games. They tell stories where I get mad and just leave and go read a book in the other room.
I used to play this. It's not a board. It was a card game called Illuminati.
Okay.
Sort of based off this book.
Huh.
And the whole idea is that you have a number of players and you all handed a card and you're this secret Illuminati group that's trying to control the world.
Okay.
Huh.
And then you have a number of cards that are fake are semi-fake organizations.
Wow, we got to get that game again, Greg. It's called Illuminati.
I think it's out of print. I played this in the 80s when I was in high school.
Yeah.
But there's lots of games with that kind of game mechanics. Like one of you is a vampire, and you have to figure out which one of you is the vampire, or one of you is a werewolf, or one of you is a thief. The fun thing is
in this game is that you're supposed to take control of groups like the Fnord Motor Corporation or the Communist Party or whatever.
Forge or whatever. Ford.
But the rules in the rule book says you are allowed to cheat. You're allowed to cheat, but if you get caught cheating, you have to fess up that you were cheating and not go through with whatever you're going to do. So it's like a dice game. You roll the dice. And let's say you're rolling the dice and say, yeah, I rolled a 9 when it's really an 8. So if people aren't paying attention, you can cheat by saying, I made my dice roll when you didn't.
Yeah,
I love dice.
If they catch you, you gotta like say, okay, I got caught. And then they have money in a bank. Like every round you get money. And it's like take $100. You can take 120, but if they catch you, get caught, you got to put the 20 back.
Jeez.
And the rule says, you really want to play this with your friends. Because when you're encouraging cheating.
I mean, even Scrabble's like that a little bit, right? I mean, you can cheat in Scrabble. You can
cheat in Scrabble.
You can make up a word.
And, not if someone's saying that ain't a word.
Well, but then you have to go through the challenge process. That's part of the game.
Oh, okay.
You know? Like you can cheat, and then somebody can decide whether they want to risk challenging.
Yeah, like I know that XI is a word from Scrabble. I don't know how to pronounce it.
XI?
Z.
I think so.
Z.
Yeah, I think that's
all kinds of. If you have the Scrabble dictionary, you can memorize it. Fool your friends.
Yeah, no, I play with my mum actually. I play Scrabble with my mum, and she loves it. So when I visit her, I say, "Do you want me to get the board out?" She goes, "Oh yeah." And and the amount of times I'll think, I'm going to see if that's a word, because sometimes the Scrabble words are weird, and then nine times out of 10 it's a word in Scrabble, and it's probably some chemical thing or some really obscure word that nobody ever uses, but it's in the dictionary for Scrabble.
Right.
So it's sometimes it's worth looking something up, you know.
And there's no penalty for challenging, is there?
Well, not in the way we play it.
Yeah, there is. If you I forget what the points are, but if you challenge and you're wrong, and it turns out it was a real word, then yeah, they get extra points, and
They get
or you
extra
lose
points.
something. I forget what. I don't know. Remember
I don't need that, mate. I just need to get my letters out, get over 300 points.
I just need more letters. I need the more letters.
Yeah, I don't need to get challenged.
That's me picking out of the bag. I like Scrabble.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you're pretty sure you think something's a word, but you're not 90%. So you kind of, that's part of the game. You take a chance and put it down because you're pretty sure, right? But
yeah, well, I suppose you guys play it with guns as well, do you?
You guys,
American joke. That's an American joke.
Probably everybody on this chat is old enough to remember this. Do you guys remember? I forget what HBO show it was. I think it was an HBO show, and it was called. People would make up these words like called and send them in like sniglets.
Sniglets.
Yeah. What was this from?
Not in the dictionary, but should be.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Japanese show where they walk up and
the guy who hosted that. He was on Saturday Night Live for a while.
Oh, was it Saturday Night Live thing?
No, it was the guy who hosted the Sniglets was on Saturday Night Live for a time.
Oh, okay.
It's a great word. The Sniglets. That sounds like a kids program, like four grown men that are a band, like that Australian show. What was that Australian show? With those four men, and one of them keeps sleeping. Do you get that? It's an American kids show. Sorry, an Australian kids show.
No.
I can't remember what it's called. They do loads of songs, and there's one that keeps sleeping all the way through the show.
Not the Wiggles.
Yeah, the Wiggles. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Wiggles. Sounds like that. The Sniglets. The Sniglets. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Or the what's that? The Tweenies? Is it called the Tweenies? This is a random anecdote, but why not? We took my daughter when she was 3, I think she was about 3, to see Bananas in Pajamas live in the theater. It's amazing.
I don't know that.
So Bananas in Pajamas is an animated show for kids, and these people were dressed up as bananas and whatever else, and teddy bears and stuff.
Wait, let me guess. And they wore pajamas?
Yeah, the bananas wore pajamas. Yeah, yeah.
This is a UK show, I think, guys.
I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. I thought it was American. Maybe it's not.
How about the Teletubbies? Did you get that over across?
Oh yeah. It's huge. Yeah, when my daughter was 2, because it's a 90s thing, Teletubbies. When she was 2, she was obsessed, and my wife spent hours or days and days and days trying to get her a Poe, like a little tiny Poe. And he's the purple one, isn't he? Purple. And they was sold out everywhere. Everyone was buying a Poe for their kids that year for Christmas.
Oh, was he the hot one?
And yeah, he was the most popular one. And, oh my God!
Wasn't it supposed to be a gay Teletubby?
I think.
Yeah, that's Tinky Winky. I think.
Tinky Winky.
It's Tinky Winky. Yeah. Well, he's got a handbag. Doesn't necessarily mean he's gay. So there's lots of assumptions being made here.
When you get stoned enough, it starts making sense. Like that, the guy with he's like a vacuum cleaner.
Nunu. That's Nunu. Oh, I'll tell you what. I've got a brilliant anecdote about Teletubbies. Right, this is actually really cool. So, like I said, my daughter was really into Teletubbies, right, and it was a big thing in this country in the mid-90s, right. My wife's uncle, Anthony, his voice sounds exactly like the guy that goes, "Time for Teletubbies, time for Teletubbies." And we, as a joke, we told our daughter, who was really young, that was her uncle Anthony, right? So like her mum's uncle, and she believed it. She told all her friends at school that her uncle was the one that said, time for Teletubbies. And I was made a joke about it recently when all the family was there, and she said, "Dad, I didn't even realize that it wasn't true until like 3 years ago." And she's like 20. She's 29 years old.
Talk about Santa Claus or something. That's crazy.
So it's amazing, yeah. But that guy sounds exactly
what
like.
Else don't I know
my
about,
wife's
Dad?
uncle.
What else don't I know about?
Yeah, what have you been lying to me about? Yeah.
we got a question from Fred. I'm gonna jump ahead.
Is it a question about Teletubbies?
No, but there may be a question about Teletubbies coming up.
This is from an hour ago.
To the group and to folks in the chat. How will you be celebrating New Year's?
I'm going to a powwow tomorrow.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'll vlog it, of course, because everything I do, I have to vlog,
Yeah. You got to put it on social media or it didn't happen.
I go to a restaurant, and, my friends go, "Put the damn camera down. What are you doing?" Damn.
Yeah. Well, I've got a gig tomorrow, so
That's right.
it'll be the third late night in a row, and that'll be the late. I'll be going to be knackered, and we'll get home because it's in another county, so we've got to drive my son back to Brighton as well as coming back home. So we're going to get home about 4 a.m.
Yeah. Brighton's what, about an hour away from you?
Yeah, but it's in a different direction. So we're playing in Farncombe, which is in Surrey. So we got to play there, and then at 12:30 we'll finish, start packing up. We'll leave for Brighton, which is a different direction, and then come back to Portsmouth. So yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I want to see Brighton, man. Brighton rocks.
Yeah, Brighton rocks. Yeah, Brighton's great. I love Portsmouth as well.
Yeah, by the sea.
Yeah, we're both, but us and Brighton are by the sea. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. What about you guys, Dave?
Greg's sleeping.
Greg's sleeping.
Yeah, well, we have a quiet one. My daughters decided they were going to go out to dinner by themselves, so they made a reservation. One got sick, but the other two are going to still go. And then, so my wife and I made a reservation, just a dinner reservation, and then we'll all reconvene back here after dinner, for the ball drop.
Oh, that's nice. So was that awkward moment when you went, "Oh, that's great, can't wait to go," and then she went, "No, not you."
They did schedule it, but they just assumed we were gonna have people over, and which we didn't. But they just went and planned it without planning their own dinner without us. They didn't want to.
Oh, and that was the excuse that they said. They said that they assumed you weren't doing anything.
Yeah, they assumed we were busy.
Are your daughters adults? Are they teens or?
Yeah, two of them are 24. The twins are 24, and then the other one's 18.
All right, so they're adults.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah. They're good on their own. Essentially, that's the operative word.
What normally happens on when it gets to the new year, like obviously at midnight, and everyone's singing Old Lang Syne and stuff. Everyone comes out of their houses in the street because I live on the main road, so I can see the entrance to about 4 different streets from here, and everyone comes out, and there's a roundabout near our house as well, and loads of people go to the roundabout and they kind of link arms and sing Old Lang Syne. It's quite nice, if we're here. So I won't see that because I'll be at the gig. But if I wasn't at a gig, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be going outside and saying Happy New Year to random strangers that live nearby.
Nice.
So that happens.
Are you literally going to be sleeping, Greg?
Probably.
Are you doing anything before you go to sleep?
We don't have anything planned. We don't have anything thawed for dinner. So I'm guessing that we can go out to dinner somewhere, but we kind of like early dinners. So
yeah.
I expect the restaurants get so busy.
4 o'clock. What do they call that? Senior discount? 4 o'clock.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go 4 o'clock anyway if he didn't make any reservations yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that I don't care anymore that it's the new. It's just changing of the calendar. So
but it's a nice excuse to celebrate being alive. Do I sound like a hippie?
I haven't went out for a proper New Year in a long time, because it's kind of like amateur night. I'm superstitious. I don't want to get, like you're talking about America, shot or anything. But they're doing some cool things on downtown Portland and the river, like a big drone show. So that might be, they'll be on TV though, you know. Now I do sound old. I'll just watch it on TV.
So, fun fact: I proposed to my wife on the Millennium New Year's.
Oh,
No way. That's
Yeah.
No
awesome.
way.
excellent.
Yeah.
That's cool. Was it like in a special place as well, or was it just like when you...
Well, it was in New York City. We were going out with
Oh,
friends in New
man.
York City, and so it was one of my friends at the time had an apartment in New York, so I actually did it at his apartment. Had some dom and chocolates and stuff in the apartment ready, and then we just went there before the night's festivities, and I proposed there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
For anyone watching the chat, I'm going to give some advice that is really, really serious advice. If you're going to propose to your supposed partner, make sure you do it in a really dramatic, romantic way. Because if you don't, you'll never live it down. They'll mention it every few months about how you did it in a really plain, ordinary way.
What did you do?
We were just like, we were having a cup of tea somewhere, and I just went, "Should we get married?"
Oh,
Gareth, I was essentially the same way. We were thinking about, we both had 2 apartments, and well, let's just get an apartment together, saves rent, and we moving in. Be married? Okay.
Yeah, apparently it doesn't. Sometimes that can be like a weapon for many, many years to come later.
Well, Gareth, it's been 27 years for me, so I think it passed muster.
Yeah. I've been married for 31 years now.
wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I proposed marriage a couple times and I was accepted. I never got married though. One time was in front of one of our classroom. We taught at the same community college. And
I thought you were going to say you proposed to a student, which is not. That's very unprofessional, Al. You don't propose to students.
He's back. Yeah, come on. You can come. No, she was a teacher, and I brought in at Rose and me in front of the whole student.
So you said you had multiple accepted marriage proposals?
Yeah, once in 1982 when we were like in undergrad school.
Huh.
2 different women.
So is it just you like proposing to people?
Yeah, right. He just doesn't like signing. He doesn't like signing the dotted
No,
line.
they were the ones.
Yeah. Is it like they say yes and you go, well, I didn't mean it.
They were the ones who called it off. Yeah.
The next day they go, what have I done? And phone you up and go, oh, forget it, mate.
The one, the teacher, I mean, she had my son. So, yeah, I've got a 25-year-old son.
If you had your son, then yeah, you would. You want to. Yeah. Anyway. I actually got. Well, I don't know if you might know this already, but we remarried again. We kind of renewed our vows. Was it 3 years ago? Yeah.
Were you nervous?
No, I wasn't nervous.
When you asked her to renew, were you nervous?
In case she was like, it's my chance to say no. Yeah. No, she actually said, she suggested that we renewed the vows because it was after I was ill. So it's quite nice actually because I joke sometimes and say that was when I really noticed how much she loved me when I was going to die. So I think I should get really ill again and then I can feel it again.
You can make it like a yearly thing.
Yeah.
So she doesn't get sick of you.
She said really nice things when I was going to die.
Man, you guys.
And I let her down by staying alive.
It's like, oh shit, that was anticlimactic. Right?
There's voices. Just humor him. He's talking. Humor him.
Yeah. And we can sell his bloody books.
Oh, jeez. You sound like Joyce. Selling Steve Ellis's books. For no drink. More coffee.
Well, that was a very elaborate response to Fred's question.
It's more than he asked for.
It's more than he asked for. That's what you get with us. More than you asked for.
Yeah. Well, I've just gotten to the point in my life. It's like all these celebrations. Like, why am I going out and celebrating this? Now, we did do something last year with the neighbors. We had an event,
Hmm.
and it's like, okay, is it midnight yet? Is it midnight yet?
That's awkward. Yeah.
I've got an image now of Greg opening the top window of his house, and there's a young man outside. It says, "Young man, what day is it today?" And he says, "New Year's Day." And, and Greg shouts, "Happy New Year!" It's a reference to Christmas Carol, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, so you're like an early bird, Greg.
Pretty much. I'm usually up like 7:00, maybe 7:30 at this time of year when it's still dark at 7:30, and
Yeah.
But other than
Wow.
that, what happens is the cats get hungry, and it's the middle of summer. I'm gonna get a cat walking on me, going like, "Yeah,
But this is,
excuse me, breakfast."
Yeah. That's what
guess
happens
that
with
is-
this one. She's very, very aggressive, and I can't sleep. Like even on the weekend, I'm nocturnal, so I do like to sleep. Like last night, I stayed up till like 3 a.m. watching Silo, which is season 2 is like really killing it so far. But still, I can't sleep like much past 7:30 because she can't make it to 8 without eating, and she like really starts aggressively attacking my head and making me get up. Like it's that's that's a problem, Greg, right? That these pets are running our schedules.
Absolutely.
Deciding when we get up in the morning. That's not right.
Feed me.
I suppose I could try feeding them, staying up late at like midnight, give them another dinner, and maybe they'd be content.
Oh, it wouldn't be the same.
It probably would be because they say it's dawn,
Yeah.
time to eat.
I don't think it would work with her. She'd right?
I have a thing about thing. Maybe you heard about Dave. Dogs like are part wolf or blah blah blah. So they like it when you actually hide their food and they have to find it. It makes it seem like
Yeah. Well, only, but except if they're really old, like my dogs, and then they just like look confused and just stand there.
Then they start peeing on the carpet. Yeah. Yeah, I'll show you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I did hear that though.
We literally tried it earlier, and we had to like move the dogs to the food because they were just like, "What's happening? What's going on?"
Yeah, it's gonna be a sad day, Gareth. When
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm
well,
trying. I think I talk about it because I'm kind of trying to prepare myself for it.
Yeah,
because we've had them a long time. But
yeah, it's horrible. We had to put down my Angus Wonder Dog miniature schnauzer back in the late '90s, maybe even 2000. I forget, but I had him 17 years.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, we had their mum for a long time, and she got really ill, and
yeah,
but she did last. She was 16, but yeah,
that's a.
but they're 17 now, so.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they're doing well. Little dogs always last a little longer, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Here's Diane. She has a question. I got brave and signed up for the Book 2 Prize 2025 tonight. Any helpful tips? I've been on the Book 2 Prize before. I don't know if anyone else here has.
Nope.
Well, let me just say, Diane, is when I'm doing my best and worst for this year, I was a judge for 3 rounds. I did 2 rounds of nonfiction and 1 round of fiction. On my worst of list, there are going to be 3 books that I read for the Book 2 Prize.
Huh.
On my fiction, there is 1 that made it to the best of the year.
Oh, cool.
And on nonfiction, there were 2. Or there might have been 3 that made it to the best of the year. So for me, there's always been a really good surprise that you're looking through, because what's going to happen is on the first, you're going to get a list of books saying, I want to read this book. And you can pick out 20 you want to read. And there's going to be like 70 or something. So you're going to skip a lot of those books. And a lot of the books that you do not want to read are going to get nominated by other people, and you are going to be assigned to read one of those books. Every year I've done this, I've had at least 2 books that really surprised me and said, wow, that was a great book that I never would have read otherwise.
That's a great endorsement.
It is.
Yeah.
The problem is you are going to get some books that are going, this book is so freaking bad. And you'll get some real.
That's the trouble with. It's like with events as well. If you've committed to something, if you weren't on BookTube, if you weren't doing videos, if you weren't part of an event or part of a group read or something, you wouldn't even bother finishing it.
Yeah.
As long as you think, oh, I better try and keep going. You know.
Yeah.
So Diane, my suggestion to you is try to get on to the first round. Depending on how many judges, you may not get selected, but you will eventually get selected for other rounds. And I would say try to do at least 2 rounds to give you a broader scope of what's in there. And if you're lucky, you're going to, like me, find 1 or 2 really great books that you were not expecting to find.
Didn't James win this year?
No, James did not win. No, James is going to be nominated this year.
Oh, wasn't even eligible last year.
Oh,
so he wasn't published for 2023. So I think James is going to make it to the final round of fiction, at least. Just judging from what other people have said on BookTube and how much they like it. Honestly, I've read the descriptions of James, and I'm kind of a pass.
there's some funny spoilers in it.
It's not a spoiler. It's not about spoilers. I
mean, there's some good things in it.
I know. I'm just saying it's like I don't think it's the kind of book that would appeal to me. But I tell you, it's going to appeal to many readers. And
some books, I don't know if you're like feeling this way about it, but some books to me, I like Geek Love. By the time I came around to that, I felt like I'd read it already, almost. Like that kind of feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes when you hear about a book to death, you feel like you've already read it.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's why people don't buy my books, because I talk about them too much.
Yeah, I still want to read the one though about the band, and I don't want to think about it.
I have your Voices in the City.
Oh yeah, you read that one. You talked about it.
I did that the first day of the year for 2024. And hold on for 1 second.
Yeah, I want to read one. It's about a rock band in like space, right?
Yeah, Brown Up Gang. Yeah, that's the one I want people to read.
Yeah,
that's my magnum opus.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm sure I'd love.
Greg's gone to get the entire collection of everything I've written. Look, it's
not quite.
That's a depressing book. That is.
Okay, so maybe I will try to have this my first book of the year.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Well, it's a tradition. I did it last year. Why not try it again this year?
That'd be cool.
Gareth is going to have to write another book in 2025.
Well, I'm trying to actually. I'm trying to write short stories, and I want to get started on the sequel to the Brownie Up Gang. So I'm trying to. I've just got massive imposter syndrome, but I did enjoy writing them though, so I should just do it for the enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
So I
busy, family, a band, and
I'm always juggling.
A job.
I've got a job. I've got a job as well. Yeah.
Mention that.
I said, what was it I said? Oh yeah, I said to my wife, I was considering starting up the youth choir that I had a few years ago, starting that up again, and she went, "No, don't. You're doing too much." I was like, all right, fair enough. But I always want to. That's why it's called Permanent Verb. That's why that book's called that, because I'm always trying to do lots of things.
Action, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably ADHD.
Well, as I
I don't know
said,
yet.
it's poetry, so it's not like there's
Oh, it'll take you 5 minutes.
8 words on a page.
Yeah, it won't
This
take long
would
to read.
be really like what 80 pages,
Yeah, something like
something
that.
like that. Not
But
a
hopefully they'll be enjoyable poems
It
anyway.
could
But
be.
it is quite downbeat. My fiction is usually mostly funny, and my poetry is not funny at all. So yeah.
all right.
I bet
Anyway, enough about that.
Greg likes getting depressed.
Yeah, well, you might like the poetry more than.
I don't get depressed reading, like things. Oh, this book is so depressing. I'm going like, it's the book,
Anyway,
honestly, what really gets me mad is happy stories.
what really hurts me,
Happy endings, eh, Greg?
Oh, I hate happy endings.
Oh.
yeah. Or endings where you have to. Never mind.
Dave's face is dirty.
Yeah,
She's
he's
just
feeling.
she's an energetic kisser.
Ah,
She's
you were
very
You
talking
can
good.
edit that out and have that as a ringtone. Just Dave says she's an energetic kisser.
and just not explain that it's a dog. Right?
Yeah, context.
I thought you were talking about Gareth's face because he shaved for you shaved for the
Yeah.
gig tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm an energetic kisser.
No, I thought of your face, not that. You shaved for the gig.
I mean, I'm meeting Dave next year. Who knows? He might be in, mate.
There's a comment about the novel Silo.
There's a
Yes.
comment about energetic kissing.
No, Silo.
Silo is so good.
Yeah,
You guys read that?
I've never heard of it
Yeah.
before.
I read.
Oh,
Oh, you never heard of it?
Who's this book
Oh.
blather guy?
Silo's so it's an Apple TV show.
I don't have
Oh.
Apple TV.
It's pretty well
Yeah.
acclaimed, but it's based
It's based on the trilogy, isn't it?
it's based on a book series that started with Wool.
Oh, I did not
It's
like that
Wool,
book.
Shift, and Duck. And what happened?
I did not like Wool.
You didn't like it?
No, what happened was I read the first short. I mean, the Wool is not enough. It's like 3 or 4 short stories.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it was originally self-published, so it's a little disjointed because it was written in I think 5 pieces, 5 or
Something
6
like
pieces.
I remember the first short story was fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. Like it's just science fiction. And then there was a second short story about 2 old people trying to get down to the lowest level of the silo, which was really deep. And then he introduced this character named Juliet.
Yeah.
And she was like the main focus of the next 3 stories. And I just thought that each subsequent story was less good than the previous one. And so by the time I finished, I said, no, and there was something about the last story that just really put me on. I'm trying to remember what it was that put me off.
Did it have young characters in it, Greg?
No, I think he went all Hollywood-esque, and like Juliet turned into this badass, woman kicking butt everywhere, and I just said no.
I don't know. We have very different opinions. I love that book. That's one of my favorite books. Actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not favorite, but I mean, it's up there. I mean, it's my top 10 probably.
It's a very popular book, Dave.
It is very.
Yeah.
But the first, it was written in pieces. So the first one is like a totally different story than the rest. That the first, whatever you call it, the first book or chapter or whatever. But then the rest was mostly about Jules and the plot. I mean, it was I like plot driven stories a lot. Not that I don't like character driven stuff, but I very much like a plot. And and that was, there was a lot of plot to that story, and I don't know. I just really liked it. I thought it was such a unique concept, and they're doing a great job with the show. Doing a really great job with the show. But
Yeah, I haven't got Apple TV, so I can't. Well, I think I'd rather read them first as well.
yeah,
But yeah, I did own them, and I got rid of them, thinking
Really?
I'll get. Yeah, because I was trying to be a bit more brutal with trying to get rid of. I count. What was it? Summer before last, I counted 1,800 books, and I thought I need to get rid of some.
yeah,
So I tried to be a bit brutal, and I thought, well, if I see them in secondhand shops everywhere, like charity shops, those books.
yeah.
So I thought, well, if I do think, well, I'm going to read them now, it probably won't take me long to find them. So, so that's what I thought. So,
Yeah, the funny thing is though is that, and I remember that was painful for me when you were doing that massive unhaul. Like just watching it was painful. But in the meantime, you continue to haul like crazy. So I don't
yeah. No, I was. Yeah. Well, also those videos, I'm going, no, I can't get rid of that. No, I can't get rid of that. I can't get rid of that. So yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard.
Well, Gareth, I have learned the hard way about unhauling books. I mean, I told this story before. It's like my wife told me, like, get rid of these old horror books. No one wants them. You're never going to read them again. And I looked at the cover price. Okay, I bought it for $1. I'll just go again and buy it for $1.
Yeah,
and
now they're 60 quid.
Bucks, and I'm going like, dang.
Yeah.
And like this one, let me look at a book at random. Like this one, I kept, Nabokov's biography of Nikolai Gogol.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, and I can buy it basically for the price I bought for it 20 years ago. It's still for sale.
Right.
I'm not going up in value. But I kept this one and got rid of the others, right? So that's why unhauling never really works. You unhaul the wrong book.
Yeah. And if it's something you bought in the first place, you probably will want to buy it again. So yeah, it's difficult.
True.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot in my loft.
I have a question for Greg, but I don't want to digress on the comments too much. But you ever think about getting into like wheeling and dealing old and books? And
No.
Oh, what, like selling books but
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd be more interested in that if I ever managed to sell something on eBay.
Yeah.
I've tried several times. The only time I tell you what, I had one success that was crazy, and every other time I've tried it, like I've just not been able to sell something. But I had this thing that was like an episode guide of Cheers, the comedy show Cheers, right? And I bought it for £1.50 in a charity shop. Really liked it. And then after a few years, thought I don't really need to have that anymore. I'm going to sell it on eBay. And it went up like people were bidding like crazy. And I bought it for £1.50 and I sold it for £28.50.
Yeah, bought it for $1.50.
That was well good. Yeah, so I got 27 quid out of it.
Yeah, well, the problem is I don't have a strong financial motive to sell. I mean,
Right.
I'm not particularly rich, but the bills are going to get paid.
Yeah.
Even if I never sell them, I mean, I'm going to have enough to pay the bills. So it's not like I'm looking like, okay, I got to take the cat to the vet, needs an operation.
It would cut into your reading time.
What?
Forget I even mentioned it. It cut into your
No. Greg never tells us, but he wrote all of Elton John's songs. That's where he gets all his money.
No, it's saving money and never having kids. But
It seems like it's.
But the thing is there are some people who are just driven to make money. They just they have a business sense of mind, saying, "Oh, you got to start this and do that."
Another hobby for you, not about the money, but just to be something you're into. Maybe another 10, 15 years when you really get bored.
Yeah.
When you've read everything behind you, Greg.
Yeah, well, eventually, when I'm being hauled off to the nursing home and I'm feeble-minded, going,
Now that'd make a good video, Greg.
Greg being feeble-minded.
Nursing home.
It'll happen eventually, and then,
Taking one, Finnegan's Wake. That's all I need. So I'm taking to the nursing home. That's all I need.
Yeah, I just don't have a financial sense mindset. So I remember when I was working, I had a boss. It was like late 90s,
Oh.
early aughts.
Can you imagine saying that, Dave? I remember when I was working.
I'm never going to say that ever.
I had a boss who would say, "What's your home base business?"
That's almost cruel, Greg. It's almost cruel.
I had a boss. He said, "Oh, what's your home base business?" And I said, "I don't have a home base business." He goes, "Well, what do you do for tax write-offs?"
Well, I've got something to
And I go, "I just pay my taxes." He goes, "No. You got to have a home base business to write off your taxes."
Sure.
Because what he would do is sometimes we go out to lunch, and the group is okay. I got to stop at this store, like Borders, and look at the business section. They don't have it. And he said, "Why did this?" Well, now I can write off my mileage on my car because this was a business trip.
Oh, geez.
Right.
Yeah.
So I looked for a book for my business. Didn't have it, but you can still write it off.
Sure.
I'm going, you're working really hard to write off all this stuff on taxes. He goes, "Yeah, well, I don't want to pay tax." So he was literally working like 20, 30 hours after work on jobs that brought in minimum amount of money just so he could pay less tax.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, why not pay the tax?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if America. This is a whole massive conversation. We don't have to have this conversation, but I wonder if Americans feel differently about taxes because our taxes in the UK go to our social services, go to our hospitals, and goes to our education, and goes to our police and stuff, and it feels like we're getting something from it, and we're getting obviously our NHS is paid for by taxes,
Right?
And all that. And for you guys, you have to get insurances for that stuff, don't you? So. I wonder if that makes it different, whereas we feel like we're getting something out of it when we pay our taxes.
Part of it also is not, Gary, you don't have a lot of tax write-offs in the UK, do you?
You can have, if you're self-employed, you can write things off if it's connected to your job, but only if you're self-employed. You can't do it randomly.
Right, but that's
because I'm a teacher, so I work effectively. I get paid by the government. I get paid by taxes.
Well, our lottery system, like all the mega Powerball and all that, that goes directly to schools, at least. So
what, in the US?
Yeah.
But I just wondered if that's a difference, because you might think, well, where does the money go? Whereas we know where the money goes.
Yeah, you probably have a more positive.
Yeah.
You probably have a more positive view of paying taxes
in Oregon, which is weird in America.
Because I personally think taxes are really important because because that's the whole idea of the welfare state, that you pay your taxes and then you get cool stuff back from it. Unemployment benefit and pensions and whatever else. Do you have a national? Do you have a state pension?
Oh no,
You don't have a state pension. No. Yeah. That's sort of weird for me, but yeah. So we pay our taxes. We pay national insurance contributions every month, and that builds up to eventually be your state pension.
See, I'm in a rare situation where my wife worked for the federal government for 32 years. And the federal government is one of the few employers that actually still give pensions. So my wife gets a pension every month now that she's retired.
Right.
Now, the only difference is that if she had gone into the public sector and worked in a similar job, her salary would have been close to doubled.
Oh.
You get paid a lot more, but you get better benefits working from the federal government than you do from the private sector. And there was, at least back then, job security. When you're working for the federal government, you're not going to get fired, even if you're kind of a mess up. You really have to be. I had a friend who was in the state government. He says, well, he worked in New York State. Says if you are federal or not a state employee in New York, if you shoot your boss on the job, you go to jail for 15 years, and then they give you your job back.
Yeah. Yeah, but state employees like cops and firefighters,
Yeah,
they get pensions and that.
they do.
And teachers do.
Right, but the difference in this country would be that they do raise the pension age, the retirement age, but everybody in the country, when they retire, they'll get a state pension. Everybody.
Yeah. You see, I think that's a better system.
Every single job, because you paid for it while you've been working.
Just, I mean, of course, I never tried that, never have that, but I think that'd be fine.
Yeah,
I think it's a better system because even like on healthcare, American healthcare is just such a disaster. I think it was on someone did on the internet. I think it was Blue Sky. I think there are considered like 33 Western countries, and they say they had a list of all 33 Western countries, and say how many medical bankruptcies are there in each country in the West, and they're all 32 are zero. And then you get to the United States, and it's like 600,000 medical bankruptcies in the United States.
Jesus.
Because even if you have health insurance, you can go medically bankrupt because it's just so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a serious illness.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels like, from our perspective, that the American medical system is like aggressive. It's like antagonistic. It's like, what, you want me to care for you? Rather than the opposite, which is like the healthcare system should be trying to help people rather than trying to make their life worse.
Yeah.
The American healthcare
really
system is to make the healthcare companies money.
Yeah, which is balmy.
Yeah.
Why, everyone, I see Americans say that all the time. It's like, well, why aren't you doing something about that? Do you know what I mean? Why isn't that a thing?
Well, question for you, Gareth. In England, like on TV, do you have ads for Ozempic and like Cialis and Viagra and all? Yeah, we get ads with ads for the latest, cholesterol.
There are competing companies that will give a different kind of toothpaste and maybe some like Nurofen, like headache tablet, pain relief kind of stuff. You might get some competing companies, but every single one of them are like £2 for a box. So they're only saying buy my thing. They're not expensive or, and you would get it for free if you went to a hospital or you got a subscription from prescription from a doctor. So it's like, it's not about money making over here yet. It's not at the moment anyway. Some people get all romantic about America, and you do worry if they're going to start wanting to change the health system to American one. But I think most people are pretty proud of the NHS, to be fair, over here. So I don't think it'll change, but you never know.
So here's William. I'm having trouble getting early critics for my book for the 3rd round of editing. Well, ask for volunteers. Now, William, don't ask me to edit your book because I can't spell worth a damn. So I would not help your editing very well.
Yeah, I think I would end up reading what I want to read rather than finding the problems.
Yep.
I don't think I'd be a good proofreader. Although Alex Unabridged is a professional proofreader now, William. So I don't know if you want to get in touch with him.
Okay.
He's been training to be a professional proofreader.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Boy, I used to do some copy editing. Yeah, if you're doing that like half the day, you don't feel like reading, or I didn't. But I was good at it. I find typos in books all the time.
I find typos in like proper established, like properly published books. So
yeah.
Yeah, Libro said unconvincing happy endings are the worst. Diane's not a fan of Hugh Howey.
Did you see Diane's comment about powwows, or was I in the?
Oh, that was a while up ago. Yeah, we did.
Oh, it must have been the
over because it was just so. Sometimes we miss, like, I've been to a powwow, Alan. They're so cool.
Yeah, powwows are great. They're all. Yeah, I go for like that Indian dancers, but even I won't stay till midnight for that. They do a big midnight thing. I mean, the thing starts at like 3:00. I'm just going. I'll see some people I know, like in the Native American community and that. But
Brian M.R. Greg, have you ever been to Mont Eagle, Tennessee? Truck stop. It's a long way from Hollywood, but I'm pretty sure I saw some women who could kick my butt. I have no doubt there are some women who could kick my butt.
I think most women could kick my butt.
yeah. Well, I say yeah because I was thinking about we were talking about billiards, and I played. I used to be really good in a league and all that, Gareth. But I had my own cue with my initials on it. But I played like a professional female player once, and boy, she kicked my butt. I thought I was gonna at least come close. She's going behind her back and stuff.
She was showing off.
She schooled me.
William says it's easier to unhaul if you own and run a public library. Just
Yes, true.
From your home to the bookshelf in the library, and you can still have access to them.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Diane says, just do it for fun. eBay, get the T-shirt.
How about a guitar off eBay?
Oh, hello, Courtney.
It's Courtney.
Here.
Hey, Courtney.
Hello.
Taxes are okay if everyone pays them. We all benefit. Well, only poor people pay taxes, or middle class. Okay. Dave looks like Robert Dunbar.
At first, I thought it said Robert Duvall.
Is Robert Dunbar handsome?
He's a beautiful man, Dave.
Beautiful man.
Beautiful man.
He's like a virtual Adonis. That guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Women,
I'm
women
trying to
want
figure out if she's talking about the obscure horror author Robert Dunbar, or is there some actor named Robert Dunbar?
I've never heard of him. There's Adrian Dunbar, but he doesn't look like Dave.
I have a book by Robert Dunbar, but I don't think it's the same Robert Dunbar that.
Let's see the author photo.
I don't know if it's have author photos.
See what he looks like. See,
We're all wondering what Robert Dunbar looks like now.
I have a book by Robert Dunbar, but I bet it's a different Robert Dunbar.
Oh, I just skipped down. Author Robert Dunbar.
We Americans pay into Social Security and Medicare and hope it will be there if or when we need it. Yeah. American prisons and healthcare are all for profit.
yeah, tell me about it.
Crazy.
Like Arizona has so many private prisons. I'm leery of even flying over it. Haha. It's true though.
You retire at 65, and
If you live to be 120, God, can you imagine?
I don't imagine many people are going to make it to.
I reckon you get backache when you're 120.
Interesting. When Hawaii is part of the USA and it has universal health care, but the rest of the USA doesn't have it.
Yeah, Hawaii's like, sod off, we're going to have our own healthcare because you're lunatics.
Maybe they have such an isolated population it works. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure you can make it work if you all sort it out.
I know the United States could make it work, but you'd have to tell these CEOs of these companies that you're no longer going to make $500 million.
No, I think the problem is that you'd have to have loads of Americans being happy for the government to do something like that controlling. Do you know what I mean? It seems to be un-American to let the government take care of the medical system.
That's another thing. It's like, oh, I would rather just have my foot get infected
die rather than have a national health service. Yeah. But that seems to be a thing, do you know what I mean? Like part of the American ideology.
With your health care, how long have you been waiting for your appointment? Months.
The doctor shortage where I am.
Huh.
And now I could probably find a doctor in one of the cheaper clinics that, the fly-by-night clinics, but I signed up for Mary Washington University, which is a medical school in Fredericksburg. And when I got back from my cruise in September, I got COVID and I had a bit of a cough. So I said, I'm going to go to the doctor and see what they can give me. And they said, well, if you want to see the doctor, it is May
of next year. Yeah.
Next year. And I called around and said, well, we do have the, what do they call the doctors who are not doctors yet? They're on their round. They're interns. You can see an intern in January. So next week I get to see my intern.
Oh, okay. That's
in last week of September, first week in November.
But like when I got COVID, obviously I've talked about on the channel how serious it was. But when I couldn't breathe, phoned up an ambulance. The ambulance came down, checked, and said, "Yeah, we need to get him to the hospital." Went to the hospital. They looked after me for a week. I was on 2 drips and a ventilator. They gave me like amazing treatment for the whole week. They said you need to go home now, and I'm like, but I still can't breathe properly. He said, "Yeah, I know, but we know you're going to be okay if you go home. You've got to rest and get better over probably about 6 weeks. You'll take to get better, but you don't need to be here anymore." But the treatment was amazing, and I went home. It didn't cost me a thing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's part of our thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they took me to the hospital immediately, and they treated me immediately. They saved my life every day because every day I needed all that help to stay alive, and that was it. It was just part of the thing. They fed me every day. They gave me 3 meals every day. Constantly gave me a cup of tea. Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a cup of tea?
I mean, there was one American woman who was living in Paris, France, or studying, and she was telling the story is like she was walking on the street of Paris and she got hit by a taxi cab. Not anything serious, just knocked down, got back up. And she's going to brush herself up and walk away. And someone in the street called in an ambulance because she was hit by a taxi. Just no, I can't pay for this. Don't do it. And the French were just kind of looking at her. It's like, no, you were hit by a cab.
Yeah, you don't need to pay for it. We need to sort you out.
And she's like, described how she's weeping about she just had no money, no insurance,
but that's crazy. If you get knocked down by a car and you don't go to the hospital because you have to pay for it, that's a crazy system.
The ambulance.
The ambulance took her to the hospital, and she was handed the bill, 20 euros.
Yeah,
and you just like this would have been $3,000 in the United States.
Yeah,
and it's like our country is just totally messed up in that.
But and someone presumably an American just wouldn't go to treat themselves if they got hit by a car.
Yes,
they just try and recover themselves. Check themselves out.
Okay, if it's not, you probably know if it's serious or not. But
no, but you don't know, do you? You don't.
That's the problem. You may not know. That's why you go to the hospital. The doctor checks you out.
You could die 5 hours later because you didn't go to the hospital.
Okay, you really are okay. Bye.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't want to say anything because it might make people mad, but like I'm on Social Security and Medicare and that, and I'm covered for everything, dental, just everything. Just being poor, you get SNAP benefits here, which are food stamps, but I get cash. Some people get both, so it's not like a total.
So have you got like a medical condition that allows you to have that?
Oh yeah. And
okay.
I mean I justify it because here I go telling the truth again. I can't believe it, but I justify it for going into prison 4 effing times in Arizona over some like drunk mouth stuff. The cops would beat me up and charge me with ag assault. After the first time, and after probation, they do it again. It'd be 2 against me. I couldn't take it to the box to trial. Oh, Your Honor, he's got priors and 2 police officers against. So I'd sign the damn thing, go away for 11 months. So I did that 4 times in Arizona. Last time was for 2.5. They said, no, next time you appear before me, we'll give you 10 years. I'll be obliged to give you 10 years, Mr. Mahan. So, I get it for like PTSD and for being crazy and stuff. And, they can pay me the rest of my days for all that bullshit. And they used to beat the shit out of me.
But you won't be like representing America, though. Do you know what I mean? You're not. If anyone was like, "Oh, that's out of order," then you're not a typical, are you? So, yeah, because there are people in this country that complain about people who use the benefit system and like take advantage of it. And you're not doing that. But there's a very small minority. But there is a small minority that do take advantage, and the system is there for the people that need it.
Right.
So,
yeah, I don't know. I can't remember which came first, the chicken or the egg, but
it's the egg. It's a simpler form of life.
All I know is if the glass is half full.
I love that. So I mean, it's the egg. It's the egg.
Well, how about if the glass is half full or half empty?
It's half full. You miserable
bastard.
bastard.
Depends on who's pouring.
Gareth,
I think
the glass is twice as big as it needs to be.
Yeah.
The glass is in another room. The glass is full empty.
Oh,
Yeah, my tea is gone. So
yeah, I've actually, to be honest, I have got some more cider left, but I've been dying for a wee for the last hour, so I'm not going to have any more of it.
Yeah, well,
I'll make a right mess.
We've been at this for 2 hours, so
yeah. Wow.
So I'm going to go through a couple more comments and.
That's a different kind of medical condition now.
KJ, who is this? Is this the same Robert Dunbar author that wrote The Pines horror?
Yeah.
Some other. No.
I got totally distracted and was trying to look him up.
I don't know.
It's different Robert Dunbars, but Constant has said there's one that's really pretty. I'm going to assume it's that one.
Well, according to I am seeing The Intern because my condition is basically gone. It felt it went away, so I'm just going.
You just coughed about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but they're not gonna do anything with that.
Yeah, you can survive a cough.
But he's been coughing for months.
And I guarantee you, when I go to the doctor next week, they're not going to do anything with it.
He's just trying to get attention now.
Courtney says her mom's on SAS, Alan too. She barely makes it monthly.
Yeah, it's a bitch, I mean, that's why I would work part-time. I used to work in summers. They lost the contract at I used to do security at soccer games and at concerts. I really missed it this summer.
Ooh, the Pines trilogy. It is the same.
Yay.
Okay. I don't have a photo of this author.
The Pines trilogy, isn't that also the name of the Blake Crouch trilogy?
Yeah.
As Wayward Pines, isn't it?
Wayward Pines,
yeah, mate. Yeah.
This is actually pretty good. This is based sort of a New Jersey Devil horror story.
Oh, okay.
I remember this. It was originally published in the 80s, and it was published in paperback. And when the author submitted it, his main female character was an African American woman, and the editor made him change it, just take out all reference to her race. So they thought she was Caucasian because it was a Caucasian author. You can't do that. And then when he republished it under this limited edition, he just returned the character he had originally thought it should be. So here's Lee wrote, unfortunately, no politician has been overcome with the effectiveness of government takeover of your health care. It's socialism or it's communism, way in support of the European Canadian model.
Yeah, or common sense.
Well, the thing is, you're better dying of a disease that's curable than having it be socialism.
Well, and the people with insurance, who work and get their own insurance from work, and they don't want to have Obamacare. You know, they want their own, and can't blame people for that. But
Well, you can blame people for not having a social conscience.
Yeah. All right.
No tinkled.
Don't
Yeah.
get me started out.
Also very good. Okay. Well, 2 hours and 4 minutes in. Gareth,
yeah, this is
thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And
Gareth.
and thank you for also inviting my wife.
Oh, geez.
Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Yeah, your hair looks really
I'm
good,
going to finish
Gareth.
this now.
Your hair looks
My hair?
great. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. You don't look so bad yourself.
Good luck at the gig tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks. It's going to be a long one.
Yeah, you guys
but
really good. I'm subscribed to Bemis.
Thank you. Yeah,
man.
We'll be doing lots of famous songs tomorrow. It's New Year's, so we'll be doing like pub standards.
Are you gonna record it?
No.
No shit. Damn, man.
But I don't know if it's funny because I don't know if people want it, but I was gonna put like a home recording concert on my channel, but I don't know if I will or not. Don't know.
Yeah, you guys sound really good. I have another channel with like I think 29 subscribers, and I put my guitar crap on it.
Yeah, that's cool. I watch those. I watch them. What are you gonna say, Greg? Oh, super stick. Oh, but you got some money. Nice one, Greg.
I got enough to buy Alan a soda if he comes visits again. No, really, I do appreciate it.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds like you're taking the piss now. He's like, taking that money back then.
All right, everyone. I hope you have a great New Year's. I hope you do something much more fun than what I did, which I will do, which is go to sleep early on this day.
I thought you were going to say much more fun than this show. Thanks for inviting me, guys, and it was awesome seeing Dave and Olive again.
All right, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great night.